So, hi everyone, my name is Arlie Ingalls, and today we're celebrating a very special event. 2022 is a big year for our family. We call it one of the years of zero. My mother's going to turn 90 this year. My youngest sister will turn 60, and my beautiful sister Barbara today turns 70. So we are here to wish her happy birthday. Marcus, I'm going to hand it to you then.
Well, hey there, I'm Marcus. I'm my mom's oldest son, and so happy birthday, Mom. I love you, and 70 years is a nice round number. I've got many stories, but some of my favorites are from when I was a kid. I remember riding the city bus, and I don't know why it sticks out in my mind, but I remember just getting up early in the morning and not wanting to get up so early. But I remember the way that you would wake me up is you would flip the sheet, and you would flip it in such a way that it would land on me. It was like all these little fingers falling on me at the same time, because I didn't wear pajamas or anything like that. And so but I remember the cold winters in Minnesota, and that's how you would wake me up to go get on the bus to ride to school or whatever. There was another one where we lived at Cedar Square West, which was the tall apartment buildings in Minneapolis that had all the colored squares on the outside. And I think we lived on the 18th floor. And I took myself and my cousin Ty took all the toys out of my toy box and threw them off the balcony because it was cool to watch them float down. And they did. The wind would come along and they would just, now I'd say float, but they were blocks and bricks and trucks and cars and all this stuff. And so I don't ever know what happened to those, other than you told me later on that you had to go clean them all up. But I thought it was the coolest thing in the world to watch them float, in my mind, float down to the ground. They didn't really float, but so those are some of my favorite being a kid stories. But overall, one of the other stories, when we first moved to Hopkins, you were co-director at the Battered Women's Shelter, and I was just an angry teenager. And you were having to put up with a whole lot of stuff. So you were having to put up with stuff at work, and you had 2 boys that you were trying to raise, and how you did that as a single mom, I have no idea, because Dee and I can't hardly raise our children, the 2 of us working in tandem. And so how you did 2 boys that were angry and aggressive and all that kind of stuff, I don't know. But you were very patient with going through that. And your relationship with the police department in Hopkins pushed me into, not pushed me into, but they introduced me to boxing. And so I did the Golden Gloves program with the police department in Hopkins. And that changed everything for me, from taking all that aggression, all that anger, and funneling it to a way that was productive. And so I thank you for that.
Thank you, honey. Yeah, I was blessed. My children were nothing what I was at your age at that time. So that's a small miracle for me, as it is right there. But then I'm blessed so over every single day when I think about you and Luke and the families that you have and the success in your families. Your marriages are successful. Your children are successful. I don't know how I got the ace in the deck of cards, but I did. And I pray my gratefulness about that every day. Couldn't have two more beautiful daughters-in-law, Dee and Cherie. I don't have daughters, so they have to put up with a mother-in-law who doesn't know how to deal with girls, but I call on my sons to do it. Help me out there. Yeah, so thank you, honey.
Love you.
Very nice, Marcus. Very nice. Dee, do you want to say something?
Gonna say happy birthday, love you. Hope to see you soon. The kids are about somewhere. They send their love.
Hopefully, yeah, soon. It's nice that we can Zoom like this, even though we're not in each other's homes, we are in each other's homes. And I'm just really, really grateful about that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Thank you. Thank you, Dee. So 2 things. One, Mom is next, but Kurt joined us as well. Hey, Kurt.
Hi, Kurt.
Hey, Kurt.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, brother. Nice to see you. You have a great color, that gray. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
Mom, do you want to say something?
Okay. Hi, Barbara, and happy birthday. And when Barbara was born, she was our first child, and she was a very nice looking little child, and we were so proud of her. But as she grew up, she was the oldest of 8, and we expected a lot of her. And I'm sure there were times when she would have rather been out playing with her friends instead of staying in and helping with the other children. But she did a wonderful job of it. And I don't remember her ever complaining that much about it. But and as she grew up, she graduated from high school and then was married. And her dad and I moved out of the area, so we lost contact for a few years. But now that we're on Zoom, I can talk to her again and see that she's still the beautiful child that we had. And I love her so much. And you just take care, Barbara, and enjoy life.
Thank you, Mom. I love you too. Thank you for that feedback. You know, I was thinking today, how many pairs of jeans did I have to iron for my brothers? I think they owe me some honest about that, don't you? I mean, there is a lot of ironing with their jeans, and for the life of me, I don't know why we iron jeans, but that was a job that I had.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Mom. So while I was sitting here thinking, okay, so who goes after Mom? I thought, well, why don't we go from the middle outward as a change? We've done the oldest to youngest. We've done youngest to oldest. So maybe we should go from the middle out. And if we do that, then either Sherry or Kurt are next.
Okay, Kurt, you decide.
Go ahead, Sherry. I'll go next.
Okay. Well, I do have a couple of stories. As all of you know, Barbara and I knew this was going to happen.
Where's the Kleenex? I don't want you crying. It's funny.
Barbara and I talk every day at 9:30, and it's truly a blessing to me. One of the stories I remember, or one of the memories I have of when Barbara was in the battered woman shelter at the director, and she was awarded Woman of the Year from the JCs. And I went to that event, and her speech, I can still remember the outfit she wore. I can still remember the speech. I couldn't have been more proud of her at that time. The other story I have is probably about 2 years ago. Barbara and I were talking on the phone. We were talking about something and she's like, well, hang on a second, hang on. Let me Google it. Hang on, I gotta find my phone. I'm like, Barbara, you're on your phone.
Oh my God, just as innocent as ever, I can find my phone and. here it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. But she truly is I enjoy talking to her every single day. And I can't tell you how much that means to me.
Same here, my dear. Makes my day every day. It puts a smile on my face. It gets my day started happy.
Yeah.
And my teeth are fine, thank you.
Yeah. And they look great.
Thank you.
Very nice. Anything else, Sherry?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, so then we'll go to Kurt next.
Okay, well, my first remembrance of anything that really had an impact was out on the farm, and we had just gotten the first calves out there. And when I heard that we could give them names, I started coming up with all these names for the calves. And then Barbara finally said, well, Kurt, you'll have to wait for the next one. These were already done. I'm like, really? And she goes, yes. This one's Dominique. This one's Tina V. This one's, and I don't remember what she named the other two, but I thought, man, I will never be able to say those names.
Yeah, we had to name all of the animals and then, had a lot of fun with them, chasing them around, jumping on their backs.
Yeah, we did have a lot of fun with them. Yep. And then the next one that was, I was playing with Marcus and I was throwing them up in the air.
Oh my God.
And Barb came up to me and said, Kurt, you got to stop, put them down. And I'm looking around thinking, there's something wrong, something happened, And I said, what, Barb, what happened? She goes, you're going to drop them. And I'm like, no, I won't. I won't drop them, Barb. And so I started throwing them up again. And you should have seen the smile on Marcus' face.
I know.
Ear to ear smiles. And Barb said, fine, I'm walking away. and she did. She walked away and we got to keep playing and Marcus had a great time. And so did I. I had never seen a little kid laugh so hard. Yeah,
Yep,
so that was awesome.
Marcus loved his aunts and uncles. They were his playmates when he was young, before he started school. And he took the bus out to the farm by himself because I was working. And you guys were there to pick him up, and he stayed for a couple weeks every summer for a while.
Yep.
Yes, he did, and he went from being one of our playthings to somehow he managed to become the 9th sibling.
Yeah.
Not sure how that happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember we were sitting around for Thanksgiving dinner and we were all talking and Barb said, one thing I'm having troubles with are my windows. And I kind of cut her off and said, well, Barb, what version are you running? Maybe I can help you out. And Barb says, Kurt, I'm talking about the windows in my house. Not Windows on the computer. Like, oh, well,
Yeah, you
Sorry,
were
Barb.
hardcore. You and I were both hardcore on those computers when they started coming out, and we all depended on you because you knew so much about them. But yeah, that was funny.
yeah, everybody got a kick out of that one.
Yeah. Well, Kurt, anything else?
Yeah, that'll probably be it for now.
Okay. I guess we'll
Thank
go to
you,
Brad.
Martha. I
Brad,
love you.
or actually, Margot would be next. Margot?
There you go. Now you got it. Wait, we're back online.
Hi. Hi, Barbara.
Hello, hello. Be nice. Be nice now.
Oh, my goodness. I have to be nice though, but I have a couple of different stories. And, you know, Barbara, we had some really fun. Don't take you guys out.
No,
Some fun times. Duluth is unforgettable for all of us. And, you know, each one of us at times were I wouldn't say the brunt of the joke, but I mean, we were vulnerable to whatever funny was going on. We each had our moments. And one that I will never forget is driving down to Grand Avenue with Mom and Dad. So,
Oh my gosh, Margot. I can't believe I didn't think of that one.
Oh my gosh.
yeah. I mean, it was just a moment because, you know, Barbara, you were just my pillar. You were like the person that walked on water. I mean, in every way. And that was the first time when I realized that you are not always spot on and you're not always correct. It was just hilarious. And it was one moment that I won't forget because it made you it made me realize that you're my sister. And we do those very, very kind of funny, they're just funny. And it's a memory. I won't go into all the details, but it was funny. Mom and Dad, I mean, we all got a chuckle out of it.
Oh no, you need to go into the details, Margot.
Yeah, you don't need everybody hanging.
Yeah, some anyhow. I don't think I ever heard it.
You know? So I'm in the back seat with, I don't know, was it Sherry or Candy?
I
Where
was
Sherry,
driving.
Candy, and I all in the back seat, and Mom and Dad were. And so we were going to take Mom and Dad to a restaurant on Grand Avenue. And I'm like in the back seat because I certainly don't know where we're going, but Barbara's driving. And so we should have been in the left lane to make a left-hand turn. And apparently there's two left lanes there. I don't even know, but Barbara was not in the left lane. And so someone said, Barbara, I think you should be in the left lane. And she's like, what? Oh, is that how they do that here? I mean, it was just like, we were all like, I think she was supposed to be in the left lane. And Barbara's like, is that how they do that here? I mean, it was just hilarious because we all
my
kind of knew that we
gosh.
should have been in the left lane. We were waiting for Barbara to kind of do that, and it just didn't happen. So
That
that was really fun.
was so funny.
It was
And
so fun.
it hit Margot so fast. She was laughing without any.
You sound.
It was like this, and there was nothing coming out.
It was fun. So Smallwood were like, how she's raw, she didn't do that. What? Yeah, it was a great moment, one I will never forget. And really what it did for me is just for my
Brought
sister.
me down a few pegs, are you trying to say?
She brought me down to closer to me because yeah, did we? I don't even know if we made the turn or not. Maybe we had to go, I don't
Had to
even
go
know.
around the block, maybe.
Yeah, but it was at Duluth, all the trips running to try and catch the boat before it got to the, so many, many things. One thing that I will never forget is you opened your home to me and my kids. And you had one bedroom to spare. And you said, yes, come in. And we did. We all trudged in and we laid on the floor or wherever was room. So,
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
made a camp out with it, so the kids were good, and it was
Yeah.
one of the most difficult times for you, and I just am so glad I had a way and a place to share and give you support during that time. And it's hard. It's one thing to do that kind of thing with other women and children, but when it's your sister and your nieces and nephews, I was just really honored to have that ability. And you were great during that whole process. You were a mama bear.
well, thank you, sister. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too, my dear. All my sisters are phenomenal, strong women, and they are examples for me in my life of how I should be doing things when I wasn't sure what to do. And if I had to make a decision, I often went to them to get their opinion because I didn't really have any backup but them. So my sisters have been a primary savior in my 70 years. Although the first, let's see, Lee, you're 2 years old. The first 2 years don't count because I was still a baby. And then you were born.
Brad.
And then you had Lee and Brad and Kurt. My goodness, no wonder.
Anything else, Margot?
No, well, there's so many, but
True,
You're all nice.
true. Well, we'll leave your microphone on because Brad's next.
Well.
Get
That
the
could be
guitar
fun.
out, or else I'll get the violin out. How about that?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, I've been thinking about this for a couple of days now. And Barbara and I go back a long way. So obviously when we were younger, Barbara was old enough that our lives really didn't interflect or intercede with one another. But I went into the military when I came out. Barbara was really one of the first ones to reach out and say, hey, come over here and let's do this and let's do that and let's do this. And from that point on, literally to this very day, Barbara's and our life has been neck and neck. I mean, we never, or shoulder and shoulder, whichever way you want to put it, never strayed very far apart. And so if I take you back to the earliest memories, I helped Barbara move a boatload of times. But the funnest time was when Barbara and I both lived at the Bridgeway Apartments in Burnsville. Marcus was her only child at that time, super great little kid. And I was in college at that time, so I had some time to babysit for her, help her out with some stuff and babysit during the day. Marcus and I hit the pool every single day. I mean, he went from being not liking water at all to be totally adept at him. And you had to watch him because he was just going to jump in at that deep end of the pool and you had no idea if he could swim or not. So you were instantly running after him and chasing him down. And, we've lived together several different times. I mean, we've done just a boatload of stuff together. So, all I can say is, I can't even again, like Margot says, I can't even repeat all the good times we've had together in our lifetime. It's just been so many. I could literally hog up 2 to 3 hours of this Zoom call, just telling stories of the time that Barbara and I have had together. But I'll just say that was one of them when we lived together in Bridgeway Apartments. Then she lived with me again over in North Minneapolis. And again, it was a super good time. We had nothing but a ton of fun. She lived with me up in Malacca and watched the kids for me while I was gone working and stuff like that. So we had a super good time then. So there's just an absolute ton of nonstop. And, you know, when we moved to Mankato, Barbara decided to come down here with us as well. So again, just, I don't know, what is that? That 40 years? Marcus, how old are you? I think he's 50 because we went and celebrated his 50th.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, literally, Barbara and I have been shoulder to shoulder for 49 years. We have life together. And of course, when we were younger, she was enough older than me that we didn't have that much going on. We lived on Sheridan Avenue and stuff. I thought not that I'm a gay person, but she brought some handsome fellas to the house. I'm thinking, damn, that is a nice looking guy. And so I always thought, and I always thought, she's gonna end up with one seriously nice looking dude. Of course, the Beatles were huge. And but here's my earliest memory. My earliest memory that I can think of, we were living in Anoka, and Barbara was playing some Beatles records, and her bedroom was right at the top floor, but her window was right there where you could see her. And she was playing some music, and she was up there. She was dancing. And I'm thinking, I looked up there, I thought, holy shit, my sister can dance. That is some seriously good dancing. If I'm down on the street, she's up in her bedroom, and I'm trying to emulate everything she's doing. And I didn't have it. So I failed. There was a big failure going on right there. I did not have it. But I just thought, so obviously she's the oldest of the 8. And so all my life I've looked up to her, whatever, to everything from her. We've lived together, quite a few years. Super happy that we were able to do all that together.
You're right. There's like, you go down a tunnel when you start sharing stories because there's so many of them. But I just have to make one comment. Everything you said is true. But where my child is concerned, I really wasn't sure if my brothers and sisters were safe people for him, because Brad, in that story that he shared with the pool, he was having Marcus dive for dimes. And I saw Marcus go down, and I'm like, Brad, what the heck are you doing? And he's like, wait and see if you can get that dime. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm telling you. Well, you know what? Marcus went from being kind of afraid of water to no fear. He had no fear. He would have went 50 feet down to get that dime.
Oh, yes.
And so that transition, watching that from happening to nope, I'm not going in the water, to I'll go down 50 feet. I'll get that dime.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was a very fun transition to watch.
That was the start of my gray hair.
And I agree with I agree with Candy, or with Sherry and Kurt. That Marcus was kind of one of the kids, and I'm telling you, Candy will tell you, Ashley thought she was a sibling. Ashley thought Marcus was a sibling. until she said, well, no, he's not. He's just the oldest grandchild. But he was so a part of everything that, yeah, first couple thought he was one of us.
Well, so
So
two
anyways,
things.
love you, sister.
Thank you,
Happy
my brother.
70th birthday.
Thank you very much. I love you.
Go ahead, Marcus. I interrupted you.
No, that's right. One part of that story, I do credit Uncle Brad with my learning how to swim. But the second part that's not quite so great is he did tell me he graduated from dimes to quarters to his house keys, and he would say, "We can't get in the house if you don't go get these keys," and then he'd throw them in the deep end.
My
So,
God.
so
Yeah, so Barbara, just to answer the question, you're right. It was not safe to leave Marcus with us. You know, you had 3 boys that were very aggressive, but then you had Sherry and Margot that followed us. They were just as bad.
Well, I think
Yeah,
Candy was right
exactly.
there too. She felt, I heard her a couple times say, yeah, I had to make them stop throwing him on the couch or swinging him or
Yeah,
something.
we were swinging him and he got
Yeah.
up. Do you remember that, Marcus? He got up just laughing and laughing, head first into the couch because I dropped the blanket.
from my perspective, I had the best childhood ever.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of bumps and bruises, but so many laughs and so many, yeah, that was fun.
Some baby Marcus. Yeah. Well, Marcus, look at it this way. You were not as tortured as Monty was.
No, that's
Monty
right.
was the tortured.
Yes,
That's
he
true.
definitely was.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, very good, Brad.
So
Anything
anyway,
else?
Barbara, love you, love you, love you. Happy 70th birthday. My life would literally not be the same if you were did it.
Thank you, my brother. I agree. You would be who knows what, because you had no walls to stop or block you. You just went right through them. I wish I had remembered to pull the photo that I have of you wearing your glasses they were my glasses with my pink eyeglass chain hanging off your head, and you're trying to show the hair cutter that we used, that I bought you to totally
Yeah.
go
Yep.
bald.
Yep.
Yeah. So you
Yep.
are concentrating with my eyeglasses and my eye chain hanging, and you're looking at trying to figure out how to use this thing to shave your head. And Betty was on vacation. And I swear to God, she blamed me because you shaved your head. She wasn't happy about it at all.
Yeah. She blamed me at first, and then she found out you were a participant. Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
she's
we
blaming you.
both got a little hectic in that one.
Yeah.
Does Betty say something?
Of course.
Yeah, well, Margot, that's her now, Margot. Barbara, I just want to say happy birthday, and I haven't known you that many years, as many as these guys, but I just remember living out in Garden City, and you lived in Vernon Center, and we both loved to go to Wiggy's because we like their chicken, and so I would ask Fred, so can we go to Wiggy's tonight? And he's like, yeah. Well, let's call Barbara. And we call you, and he's like, yeah.
Yes. Those were
Yeah,
fun
it was fun.
times. I loved
Actually,
having
thank Christmas.
time
Yeah.
with you guys.
That's
Yeah, that again, if you go back that day, you're right. That is another great time. How many times do we go to Wiggy's in Lake Crystal? Super fun time.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where we went up with Marcus or Lucas and his whole family that one time as well.
Yeah, a couple times they were, Cherie loved going there because she loved their, I don't know, whatever sandwich that they had that she couldn't get anywhere else. So they went up there a couple times with us. Yes, you're right, Betty. Thank you. I appreciate it. Love you very much. And I know you're doing a lot of stuff to keep my brother happy. And I am very, very, very grateful about that you're in his life. You're in Margot's life. You're very, very important to this family.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that. And happy birthday.
And one
Thank
more
you,
thing,
Mike.
I just want to add that Lucas said out loud, can't believe how fat Uncle Brad has gotten. You remember that, Barbara?
Where is Luke?
And I said, well, wait till you get to be 55 as well, Luke. You might have a little pounds on you as well. Don't
Well, I'm
judge
not
me because
gonna
I'm 55. Chunky.
Leave it to your
But
nephew.
yeah, we have some great pictures from that time. That was very fun. Yep.
Yeah.
Very fun. So yeah, like I said, we could go on for 3 hours just on our stuff alone, but let's move on to the next one.
I was gonna say, any more and I'm gonna bring the hook out and drag you off.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think next in line is Candy.
Is she still there?
Yep, she's there. She's on mute. I think she's taking herself off mute.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I want to see more faces. So, like everybody else said, I have many, many memories, and it was very hard to narrow it down on what I really wanted to say. The most important things. One of which was when I first moved off the farm, and I was going to Votech in Eden Prairie. I was staying with Barbara for a period of time while I went to school and worked at Super Value. And one morning on my way to school, it was a terrible snowstorm, and my car went off the embankment, and I kind of had, I don't know, hit my head or something. I didn't know where I was or my name or anything else. Well, when I finally walked up to the road and a trucker stopped, and he is like, "What's your name?" And by that time, my name is Candy. Well, who should I call? And I said, my sister Barbara. And I said, but I don't know her phone number. And he said, well, what do you mean you don't know her phone number? And I said, well, she works at the shelter and she's not allowed to give that phone number out. So like Marcus said, the relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department, finally, they were able to track Barbara down, and she was like a guardian angel walking into that gas station and picking me up and taking care of my vehicle. And, you know, it was just such a miracle that, yeah, able to track her down. But another memory that I have is being up north, and Barbara loved bonfires. And I always loved when Barbara came up north, because there was going to be a bonfire, and it was going to be a big one, and everyone was going to sit around, and she was going to start the sing-along, starting with Kumbaya and going from there to Old Susanna and all the old sing-along songs. And oh, I just love those times. Everybody just sang and had a good time, and she had the voice of an angel. I remember her singing House of the Rising Sun. Oh, yeah, bring chills down your spine. And Barbara, you've been there for so many events that I've been through in my life. And in preparation for today, I went back and reread some of your words of encouragement. And, you know, I won't read any of them, but what was always noticeable to me and heartfelt to me was how you ended your messages to me with such words of encouragement, almost poetic. And I just read those words and took your blessings that you were always sending my way. You were such a beautiful spiritual woman, and what you said was so true and heartfelt. It really encouraged me through many, many struggles in my life. for that, I love you. I can never tell you how much you have encouraged me through my life, and were a role model to me and still are. So I wish you a very, very happy 70th birthday, and I love you. And I wish blessings for you for many years ahead.
Thank you, my dear. It goes both ways. I remember you sending me a couple of tapes by Patty. I can't think of her last name. She's a gospel singer that I
Mhm.
hadn't heard, but it was someone that you felt was something I needed, and you're absolutely right. I did. Music has always been a soothing part in my life when I am down and can't get back up very fast.
Mhm.
And you really understood that. And it's something I'll never forget. That first tape I got from you in the mail was a lifesaver, just so you know. And I have to tell you, my flowers today that you sent, oh my gosh, it was so funny because I'm like, who's knocking on my door? And I was thinking maybe Marcus drove up or something. And I open it, and here's this woman with this big white bag, a garbage bag type thing. And I'm looking at her wondering if she's at the wrong place. And she said, "Are you Barbara?" And I said, "Yeah." "Well, this is for you." I'm like, "Oh." So she said, "Oh, and by the way, Thomas and Angie and Gail all said to tell you happy birthday." And they were sitting down there when the flowers came for her
Funny.
to get in to get them up to me. And that's how they found out it was my birthday. And I just laughed. I'm like, oh boy, I wish I could hear the gossip mill down there. That's what they get to do when something happens. They talk about it. But the smile on that mug is perfection for me. It's like my goal is to have a smile like that every day. And so just so you know how important that is for me, that you picked that particular one, or they did, someone did, and I very much appreciate it. The flowers are beautiful. And it even had 2 pieces of candy, which I think I shared with each of you. Cake, rather. They were soft round cake. Marble and cheesecake.
Yum.
Yeah, they're great.
Yes, well, you're
Right.
the mug I picked out for you because I thought I can just see her drinking her cappuccino or whatever you drink in the mornings with
You're
that
absolutely
big
right.
smiley face.
Well, I'm gonna find out if it does, it won't break, I hope, but it's iced cappuccino, so it should be fine.
Yeah. Good. Well, I
Thank
love
you. I love you. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks. So, and I guess, you know how the saying goes, they say the bet, oh, wait, that wasn't it. So I guess it's my turn. So yeah, like everybody else said, Barbara, happy birthday. I'm so glad that we can celebrate it with you, even though we can't be there in person. This is the next best thing. So I'll share a couple of stories with you, and I'll start with one and I'll end with one that's a little more humorous, and then a couple of more serious ones in the middle. But so the first one, well, first of all, let me say this. So, you know, I talk a lot about the 3 of us boys, and that was, you know, we were really close growing up, but you and I and Brad were very close growing up as well. And because we're the oldest ones, we're really close in age and shared a lot of the same experience and came of age in the same way in the same time. So as kids, we went through a lot of the same things together. So we have all that history. But I'm going to talk about when we, something that we talked about last week, and you know, I've been planning this for weeks and weeks. And when you brought up the fact that we used to have lunch often at the Harvest House cafeteria in the IDS building, that was one of the stories I had already decided to tell. So I'm going to tell it. So this was when I must have been 19 at the time, and Barbara was probably 20 or 21.
Yeah.
Marcus was here, but he was a child. Lucas wasn't born yet. We decided we were going to meet for lunch, and that's where we met. And Barbara's sitting across from me, and Marcus is between her and the window, and I'm sitting across. And the waitress kept coming by to check and make sure they were okay and fresh on drinks or whatever. Marcus decided there was something on the floor that he had to have. So he nosedived under the table, and his feet were up above the table when this waitress happened to come up, and she tried to give Barbara and I a dirty look, but we were better at that than she was. She quickly turned around and walked away.
Yeah, she dare say anything.
Yeah, and that's back in the day when we were poor and everything was a joy. Going out to eat was a reward. So that was one, but there's also a couple of times in my life that have been really, really important that Barbara's participated in. And the first one was unintentional. So, I've often said there are things that happen nationally and internationally that touch the lay persons, the regular person's lives. And one of them, this was back when Roger was my boyfriend. We lived in the same house, but it was in the early years of AIDS. And Roger and I, like most gay men at that time, tested ourselves every 6 months for the virus to make sure that we were okay. The day that Barbara was coming into town was the day that Roger and I were getting our results. So the doctor called me that morning and said that I was fine. And Roger's doctor had not called him until Barbara was there. We were in the living room. The phone rang, and Roger got the news that he had tested positive. So Barbara was going to be there for a week, and she handled it like a pro. It was, we ended up going to dinner that night. How we did that, I don't know, because Roger was in tears the entire night. But that was a big event. And then the other one, when Bob and I were rehearsing to compete in the gay games, we had a showcase in Houston, and Barbara and Mom came down for that and participated in that, and they got us a cake and all that stuff. So very nice things.
That was a lot.
Yeah, two significant events in my life that Barbara participated in that will always be a memory of mine. And then the last one, we're going to go back to Roger, but this time Barbara and Jeff came down. Do you remember that trip, Barbara?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We went to New Orleans. So Roger and Jeff had this thing about getting into a bad mood for no reason whatsoever. So Barbara and I we were having a good time. It was the day that we were going to head back home, and for whatever reason, Roger and Jeff decided they were going to be in a bad mood, and Barbara and I decided we were not going to participate. So we laughed and told jokes and enjoyed the music all the way home. We were both in the front seat of the car.
Yep.
Roger and Jeff were in the back seat just moping the entire way home.
Yeah. They didn't know how to have fun during that time.
No.
You're in New Orleans. How can you not have fun in New Orleans with all the music and the people, the culture? It just was like, okay, you be over there. I'm coming over here with me.
Yeah. And like Brad said, we have so many shared experiences. How many trips have we taken together? Duluth and here, New Orleans.
Yeah,
We've
we've
had a lot of
gone
fun.
to New Orleans a couple times because I crave beignets. So
Yeah.
that
San
has to
Antonio.
be the first stop. And then the jazz, wherever there was jazz.
Yeah. So with that, happy birthday. I love you. So glad that we could share this with you.
Mwah, to all of
You
you.
wanna say
Thank
something?
you. Thank you.
Yes,
I'll do it real
happy
quick.
70th. I don't even know if I got to say that yet. I don't know what I'm doing, knocking my
Yeah, you
Gotcha.
did get to say happy birthday, my dear.
Yep, happy birthday, Barbara.
Thank
I
you,
hope
brother.
have
We
a
love you.
great day. I love you more than you'll ever know.
I
I'm
think that's
surrounding
true
you
for all
with
of
help.
us.
Hey, Barbara,
Yes.
you mentioned something that still resonates with me. in so many ways, and that's music and how important music always was for you, and is still for you. You sent a song I listen to every day, and it's called In the Blood. And if you don't mind, if everybody will be okay, I would like to listen to a little bit of that. Is that okay?
Absolutely, for me, if it's not too late for anyone, I would
No.
love that.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Get it as loud as you can. There you go.
Okay.
How much of my mother has my mother left me? How much of my love will be insane from the grief? What about this feeling that I never will enough? Will it wash out in the water? Is it always in how much of my father am I destined to become? Will I give the life inside of me just to satisfy someone? Will I let this woman kill me or do away with jealous love? Will it wash out in the water? Is it always in the blood? I can feel the love I want. I can feel the love I need. But it's never gonna become the way I am. Could I change it if I wanted? Can I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water? Is it always in the blood? How much like my brothers do my brothers want to be? Does a broken heart become another broken family? Or will we be there for each other like nobody ever could? Will it wash out in the water? Is it always in? I can feel the love I want. I can feel the love I need. But it's never gonna become the way I am. Should I change it if I want it? Can I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water? Is it always in the blood? Oh, 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 I can feel love I want. I can feel love I need. But it's never gonna become the way I am. Could I change it if I want it? Can I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water? Is it always in the blood? Oh, 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 oh.
Barbara,
Oh my
that
gosh.
song just
Yeah, very pretty.
resonates. Thank you for sharing that with
Very
Well,
nice.
the family.
Thank you for singing it. I guess I didn't realize it was you singing. I thought it was a record or something.
I did too. I did
Very
too.
much.
And
It's Mark and
Mark and Brad, you guys are awesome. Barbara, thank you so much for sharing
thank
that. And now you need to send it to me.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the other thing. Music has always been a huge part of our everything. And I told Barbara many years ago that the sisters all sound unbelievably well singing together, but they
Yeah.
need Barbara because Barbara is kind of the anchor, and then
Yes,
the
she
other
is.
three kind of feed off of what she does.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, they sang at one of my weddings. The four of you did. Well, I should say one of my weddings. Yeah, I've only had one, two. Well,
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
I don't
One
know.
real one.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Not stop. But let's just say you sang at one and somewhere along the line.
At a wedding that you were involved
Yeah. And I'm telling you, you four did such an awesome job. And when we started doing the family karaoke things, the four of you were literally unstoppable. It was, I wish I would have recorded some of that stuff from the early days, because you, the four sisters, were absolutely amazing. And I've told Barbara at least 53 times that she was the anchor of that whole thing. And
Yeah.
she needs to be a part of that, because if she's
Yeah.
not anchoring it, the rest of it, I don't know if it works or
It
not,
falls
but
apart.
she needs to anchor it.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
falls apart.
Yeah, she's anchoring, the rest does not seem to work.
Yep,
So-
I agree.
I have to sing Do Re Mi every day, otherwise my voice is out the window.
It's
I'm
funny too, because when I
I'm
call her at
teasing.
9:30 and if she has just woke up or something, because she didn't sleep, and she's like, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine."
Or the other one I
Trying to
love
get her
is,
voice in order.
yeah, I love is, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. Everything's coming up, tulips. Everything's going your way. And it's tulips, it's not roses. I
Right.
changed it. But it's funny, Brad, that you brought that up, because I told Sherry earlier that I wanted to make a list of the songs that I love, but I only know like parts of it, like that. And she's like, oh, you should do that. And I thought, no, I won't make it. I'll be crying. So never mind. We'll do that another time. So
No, I'm
thank
telling
you, thank you,
the
thank you.
four
everyone.
girls, there's nothing like sibling harmony, and the four girls have it.
Yeah,
We
Yes,
need to,
we're
if
very
we
blessed.
bottle that thing before too late, we should do that.
yeah, I don't
Nothing
want to.
against Kurt and Lee, apparently.
Well, wait till August when I get there. Can do, I have to drive down.
Yeah, there you
but
go.
Hopefully we'll be
That
there.
would be a blast to have all of us on one end of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
And Barbara, I was
Mom
gonna
and Sherry- pardon me?
I was gonna say, if there's somebody in your apartment that we need to make leave, Brad and I can handle that.
Yeah, we'll get them out of there so Sherry can get in. He
Yeah.
wants that second.
Well, we are one of the
We've
few
heard of car
places
jacking.
that,
We've got apartment jacking as well.
yeah. We are one of the few places that does not have a waiting list.
Right.
So I don't know that you'll have to wait that long. So,
Yeah, I'll be
Mom,
calling them in a
really
week or
appreciate
two
you.
and finding out what the situation is, but I'm so looking forward to being down there and being close to my sister and my brother.
Yep. You're gonna have nothing but pure fun, sister. It's gonna be fun from day one till day 350,000.
Okay, well, I am 63, so we're gonna have to control some of the fun.
Yep, 95 is all gonna end for you.
Yeah. okay.
The fun part anyways, yeah. Then you
Yeah.
gotta go to work.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
thank you, thank you, everyone. Bless your heart for making the time to do this and making it such a loving experience. I can't even tell you. I feel like I have two arms from each of you giving me a hug, and that just makes my year, to tell you the truth. Thank God for Zoom, that we're
Yeah,
able
good.
to pull together like this.
Okay, one more
I love
thing.
you,
They want to
Barbara.
wish you happy birthday too.
Oh, no, well, I'll just say happy birthday. Happy 70th.
Mwah. Wait till you get there.
I love you, Barbara.
I love you, Barbara.
Yeah, I
Thank
love
you,
you, Barbara.
everyone. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Kurt. I love you. I'm
You too.
sending you positive energy.
Birthday.
Oh,
Thank
hi,
you.
Micah.
I love all
Hi,
you guys.
honey. Good to see you.
You.
Thank you. So,
Vern,
Well-
you've done a wonderful job with your family.
thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. It was easy with two beautiful children, I have to tell you. Because I was not easy for Mom and Dad. What comes around did not come around my way. So, I am very blessed that way. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
You were totally, you were a handful. You were a handful. I remember Mom going to shut herself in the bathroom to get away from me.
Please. It was the four brothers.
It could have been the brothers.
It
All
was
I
the
know
four
is I had to
brothers.
wash the screen.
You gotta blame it on the sisters.
No, it was the four brothers.
Well, maybe. All I remember is Dad telling Candy to go to the cupboard and get some elbow grease and clean the thing up.
Oh my
And
God.
Candy completely cleaned out the lower shelf looking for elbow grease. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
much
what I
for roasting.
Hey, that was one of my stories at the 60th.
That's the story you gotta wait and tell Candy.
Yeah. He might not remember, wants to tell it now.
That's okay, Candy. I've got a couple extra ones for you.
Perfect, I'm sure.
I have a bunch.
Barbara, I love you so much
Hey.
and happy birthday. And I'm just so blessed to have you in my life.
Thank you,
We
my
all
dear.
are.
It's
I
my
We
agree.
all are.
Amen.
And we're
You
so
want to
glad.
reflect? I have 1,000 good memories. Thank you,
And
sister.
we're so glad you're on Zoom now.
Oh, thank you, Mom. Thank you. It's easier these days. I'm not shutting down like I usually do during the winter months. And I think that's part of Sherry and I laughing every day. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't have a sense of humor, but she pulls out the funny bone in me.
Hopefully.
Oh,
By the
I
way,
have-
we have a 90-minute late start tomorrow, so I won't be calling you till 11.
All right.
Yeah. But don't worry about her. Yeah. And I want to add, I hope at 70, which is how many more years for me? That's I think 4 more years for me. I hope I look as good as you do, sister.
You're
For
beautiful.
70,
Bradley, you don't look
Sure.
that good now. How are you going to look that good 4 years from now?
Well, I could improve.
No.
Medical miracle. I can go on a diet, do some stuff.
Bradley,
miracle.
I have four handsome brothers.
There you go.
Yes. Same here. Thank you, everyone. I love you so much. And you mean
Love
the
you,
world.
Barbara.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
love you too.
Every
I
one
gotta
of you
go.
in prayers.
Love
I
you,
gotta
Barbara.
go.
All right, Mom.
Everyone take care.
I
Yeah,
love you.
Mom, love you.
You look great.
Malik,
Bye.
Malik saying happy birthday.
Oh, Micah. Hi.
Hi,
It's like,
Malik.
my God, you look great with little hair.
I think that's Malik.
It's Malik.
Malik.
Oh, sorry.
Malik,
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks,
Come
buddy.
on. Oh my God, he's getting
Thank you.
older.
I followed her. Malik,
All right,
you look
love you
good.
all. I gotta get him to basketball practice. Oh, love you.
Mwah.
Love
Love
you,
you.
Marcus.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you, Marcus.
Bye bye.
Brother Lee, thank you for hosting this whole thing.
Yep,
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
no problem.
Always
letting you know.
love you to age.
Brett,
Love you, brother.
Brett, I'm glad you didn't have to go grocery shopping.
You got it all out there.
And be able to hang out for the whole time. See you in a month. Yeah, love y'all. Take
Yeah.
care.
Love you. Good night.
Love
Lee.
you. Bye-bye.
Happy birthday one more time.
And
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Barbara. Happy birthday to you. Take care, sister. Love you.
Love you all. Thank you very much.
Love you.
Buddy.
Bye-bye.
Love you,
Thank
Barbara.
you. Love you,
Well,
honey. I'll
you.
talk to you tomorrow or the next day. Okay.
I
Bye-bye.
have to get going too, you
Bye.
guys.
Love you all.
Love you
Good
too.
night, Kurt.
Good night. If I
brother.
don't talk to you during the week, I'll talk to you next weekend.